Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, daily updates. Really excited for today's beer. It's a relatively local beer from Ommegang. Love Ommegang. Kind of a fanboy of theirs. I had a 2014, I believe it was, Three Philosophers the other day, which was amazing. I have some aging behind me. I have some barrel aged Three Philosophers Three Philosophers and a couple other things from them. But yeah, big fan of them. Trying to do a couple New York brews with everything else I'm doing and reviewing. Although I did not review that Three Philosophers, but I did drink it when I was talking to Dennis from First Sip. I didn't really talk about the beer too much, so I mean, you can check out that video for sure, but it's not like I give a review of it. But anyway, this is Double Barrel Double, and I've never had this beer. And it was with some beers my friend Jim gave me. I thought I bought this, but maybe it's from him. So if it is, thanks, Jim. Belgian style double ale brewed with spices, aged in brandy and bourbon barrels from 2019. It's a limited release. It's 10% ABV. Serve at 50 degrees. It was in the basement, which is about 60 degrees. I put in the refrigerator. Took a shower, got out of shower, took the beer out. More information than you wanted to know, probably. So it is probably around 50 degrees. Proper glassware. This is actually, I have, I don't know, 5 Ommegang glasses. This is probably my favorite one, just kind of a generic one. But on the back, I love this. Where brewing is an art and partaking is a passion. Poetic. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Belgian ales. Belgian style ales, sorry. And I just think Ommegang knocks it out of the park. As you can see, I don't feel like I poured that aggressively, but a lot of head, just under 3 fingers ahead. It's a dark khaki color. It's darker than khaki. Not much, but it's added a little bit of mocha in there, but it's mostly dark khaki. Red crimson on the outside, brown in the center. It's very pretty looking beer. I mean, it definitely looks like a double. Do the close your eyes and envision what a double looks like. This, maybe with some, a little less head, but that definitely looks the part. Let's get into the aroma. So one thing I've noticed with barrel-aged beers from Ommegang is they don't have the strongest barrel presence. Actually, I have another one over here I want to do. It's behind too many things for me to grab. That was also aged in, I think, brandy barrels. But anyway, usually I have felt that they're relatively weak with the barrels. They're not, super barrel forward beers, which is fine. You're going for balance and, just adding another layer or layers of complexity. I get that, maybe not wanting it to be super in your face. The reason I'm talking about that so extensively is this one is pretty barrel forward. Like specifically oak, some oak tannins, that vanilla that you can get from the barrels. The brandy's nice. It's not in your face brandy. Most of my exposure to brandy is apple brandy. I don't think this is apple brandy. They're just saying it's brandy. I don't get an apple quality, so I'm thinking it's just regular brandy. A little bit of bourbon, which is kind of the bourbon part of it is where I think most of their bourbon barrel aged stuff is. So yeah, it's not in your face, but the barrels specifically, really nice. Raisins, burnt sugars, like caramel, but less sweet than that makes you think. So more of like a burnt sugar thing. A soft chocolate, and it's other dried fruits, prunes, things like that, but it's definitely very raisiny. Soft citrus peel. It did say, right, spices. Yeah, so I wonder if it has like coriander. That'd be my guess. Short version, it smells really good. Let's get into the taste. Cheers. That's nice. This is something interesting. I'm going to do another sip before I talk about this. I got a little less a second sip. the first sip, the thing that I thought was really interesting is it started out drier, got sweet, some of that fruit, raisin kind of thing kicks in, and then it got dry again. I feel like maybe it's just because I've had so many IPAs that like up front I usually get hit with the sweetness and then the hops come through or whatever, a drying quality comes through. So that was kind of a really cool, unique experience. Look how it's sticking in a side glass. I love that. What a beautiful looking beer that is. Now that I've had some and I'm smelling it again, that burnt sugar is more of a caramel. And the chocolate, it's like, what's that candy? Rolos. It's caramel and chocolatey. But the other things are coming through as well. And still that dried fruit. It smells really good. This is one of the better aromas I've had lately. Now it's not having that peak of sweetness. It's leveling out. The taste wow, this is interesting. The caramel is there, but it's, how am I going to describe this? It's not as sweet as caramel, but the taste caramel has, that sugar cooked taste is there without the sweetness, mixing in with, is it the hops from the beer? It's mixing in with something, and it's, caramel and molasses. It's a combination of caramel and molasses. That is totally the thing that I was trying to describe. It's funny, I talked about it not being apple brandy. I do get a nice green apple, like Granny Smith thing, almost throughout. There's little peppery chocolate in there, like cocoa powder. Little orange zest. It's making me wonder if there's orange peel, coriander, or both in this. It's a really nice beer. I think it's pretty obvious that I'm liking this. Has some like those, the Belgian yeast character, the, esters and all that. The vanilla from the oak is nice, not dominant. I don't think this would be that sweet of a beer without the barrel aging, but I think there is an added level of dryness from that barrel aging. I'm wondering if part of my Granny Smith thing is just in my mind associating brandy with, again, typically if I've ever had it, it's apple brandy. But I think I am getting specifically some apple, mixing that brandy. The bourbon, like the aroma, and like I've said about other bourbon barrel-aged beers they've done, is lower level. It adds a layer, it's nice. It's not one of the, I've described how many things in this beer, and I'm just getting around to the bourbon note, so it's not a bourbon-y beer at all. For 10%, it drinks very smooth, but as I'm talking, I can like taste the alcohol in my lung. Like I bet when I go upstairs and watch TV with my wife, she'll be like, "How strong is that beer?" It's good though. Because you don't get it on the palate, but I am getting some of that warmth in my chest. And I'm talking about it and in my breath. I think that's everything I want to say about this beer. I got to pour a little bit more into it so I can do the sign out. But yeah. What are your thoughts on Ommegang? What are your thoughts on, going back to some classic breweries that maybe you haven't visited? Not literally, because of, everything that's going on in the world. But your thoughts about, going back to some breweries, drinking some of their beers. And I've been talking to my beer friends about that stuff. Going back to your Brooklyns, your Sam Adams, Sierra Nevada, Saranac, Ommegang, Ithaca, just some of those tried and true ones that, most of us, myself included, are guilty of kind of, forgetting about on the pursuit of trying new things, a new beer from them, relatively speaking, and a huge winner for me. Again, if this was from Jim, thanks, Jim. Thank you guys for watching. I always appreciate that. Check me out on Instagram on Untapped. no hype beer reviews about those places. So always please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.